Is it really buying a property in Spain one of the best decisions you will ever make in your life? Every year I'm talking with foreigners and they say something very shocking to me. They regret the property they have bought here in Spain, especially in Costa del Sol in Málaga. However, let me get this very clear. It's not because Spain is not a good place to live. Actually, Spain along France is one of the most visited countries in the world, and at the same time, one of the places people are choosing to buy a holiday home or a permanent house here in Europe. 15% approximately of the properties have been bought in the last years in Spain have been bought by international buyers. Spain is an amazing country not only to live, but to spend half of the year here, your vacations, or any kind of projects you will have in your life. So clearly, buying a property here is a very good thing to do, which is why it called my attention. I've been talking with some clients and many international buyers, plus I've been checking for a lot of information. And in most of cases, when clients will be regretting about buying a property in Spain, it's not actually about their life in Spain. This phenomenon is due to the process of buying itself, which has torn the excitement of an investment or a holiday home, even a permanent house here in Spain, in something to regret in the long term. This is because they have done many mistakes during this process that they should be avoiding, which is why I'm going to be talking on this video about the 3 main mistakes you should be avoiding for not being in the list of people who will be regretting buying a property in Spain in 2026. Number 1 is about the location. Number 2 is about underestimating the cost of purchasing and the future costs you will have for you and the property. And number 3, and very important, having a clear path of what you want for your life, especially through the purchase of this property in Spain. Stay tuned and we will go through it. Mistake number 1, choosing the wrong location. I will say this over and over because it's vital in the process of buying in Spain. If you are coming from a different country and you are working with a realtor, broker agent, or whoever you want to do it even by yourself, don't go and look for the property first. Don't fall in love with the pictures, with the areas, with some cafeterias, with the community around. First, you need to understand where you are located, why, and how do you see yourself in the long term. Not only for living yourself, but especially if you will be also renting this property. Why? Because many places won't fit due to the people around, because the areas will be too seasonal, or there will be even slightly some details won't fit with the expectations you have with this property. So when you choose about buying in Spain, you will be choosing from different countries probably. So if you choose Spain, and if you choose Málaga and Costa del Sol specifically, then you really need to understand, because the Costa del Sol is nearly 200 kilometers from Soto Grande to the Azarquia by the end of Nerja on Málaga East. You really need to explore, because not all the beaches are the same, not all the restaurants, not all the locations, not all the golf, and that will determine also the kind of price you will be paying and what kind of a smart-wise investment you will be doing or not. Actually, there are a few factors people overlook in most of cases. That is like distance to the airport, distance to the hospitals, distance to the supermarkets, distance to the schools, even the distance to the amenities and service you would like to enjoy, and the public transportation. Bear in mind that many of you will be buying a property here in Spain and you won't be even renting a car. And sometimes you would like to go from Fuengirola to Malaga City using the train. But most of people don't know that from Fuengirola up to Soto Grande, there's no train to choose. And actually also the hospitals, restaurants, you need to understand what are the most non-negotiable points in your life, in your joy, and then finding that proper location will suit you up with everything you would like to have around, because you will be spending some time in the property but not most of the time. So going through this, you really need to understand this situation and why. For instance, I would like to set up some realistic examples. Let's say that you find a place or a property will be awesome on winter, but in summer will be so close to the beach, and then you will be annoyed by tourism around you. Or on the opposite side, you will find this golf resort. You think it's lovely in summer because it won't be that hot. You will be playing golf at the same time, but then you will need a car to go to any other place you would like to enjoy, like a restaurant, or even in the worst of cases, the hospitals, any kind of required service you will need to go. So to sum up and to this point, if you're doing the search by yourself, which I don't recommend, but if you will be working with a realtor and a proper agent, please do location first. The way we do it with our clients, if you will be coming for at least 4 or 5 days, we will take the first 2-3 days only on location. You need to understand where you are, which kind of place you like, and then you will be finding the proper property for you. Mistake number 2, underestimating the cost of buying a property in Spain. And it's not only even about the cost when you buy the property, but you also need to understand B, the cost you will have by running the property, and C, the cost you will have if you would like to sell that property in the medium or long term. So let's go by phases here. Cost number A, and it's the most important, is about buying the property. When you buy a property, you will see the portals, you will working with the agents about the X price of the property, let's say 500,000 euros. But that's not the actual cost. Let's say you will come from US, from UK, any other country, and first you need to understand your currency. When you change it to euros, what kind of power of buying you will be getting with that kind of amount. Second, about taxes. When you buy a property here in Spain, if it's a new development or a property has never been used, you will need to pay a 10% on top of that. 7% is a resale property, but also you need to take into consideration between 1 to 3% related to legal expenses, the work of the lawyer, and also at the same time, if you need a mortgage, you will need to be paying to a broker to find you that suitable financing budget you will need to finalize the purchase of the property. Cost number B is the cost of running the property. Bear in mind that every year you will need to be paying the property tax, you will need to be paying the community fees if you're living in an urbanization, which is the most common case here, especially in Costa del Sol in Málaga, and also the garbage tax disposal. And most importantly, it are the costs that I call type C, in case you would like to sell this property in the future. When you buy a property, you will be thinking about investing in holiday home, any concept you would like to have. Please bear in mind that probably life changes a lot for good or for wrong, and maybe in 2-3 years you will need to sell the property. When you sell the property, then you need to also take into consideration the taxes you will have to spend, the money you will spend in these taxes for selling the property, and also the legal fees and the lawyer services. So let's say that you buy a property now in 500,000 that is already built. If you sell this property in 1-2 years time for 500,000 at the same price, congratulations, you have lost nearly 100,000 euros, which is why taking all this into consideration is vital and will make you understand if you are doing a smart, wise investment. So finally, mistake number 3 is about buying a property without a strategy. Why do I mention this? Because luckily Spain is one of those destinations you have a lot of options to choose about when you will be buying a property. And in this case, let's divide it into 3 main topics: investment, holiday home, and permanent relocation, because usually these are the main goals of my clients when they will be buying here. So let me go quickly through it. When you buy a property as a pure investment, you cannot just put the emotional side on this. this is not your holiday home. You will be looking for those top new developments or those houses that you know in the very short, medium term, the capital gain will be amazing, and then you will have two options, whether to resell the house and make money in the process, or to rent this property as a printing machine that will be awesome for you, because not only you will be beating inflation, but you will making very good money with this kind of investments. Option B, if you are choosing holiday home, it's very important the usage you will be giving to this property. Are you going to use it for 3 months, 6 months? In the long time, you will hold this property for 5, 10, 15 years. Because if this is very important to you, and this is the next chapter of your life or the transition of your life, you need to understand the following. Keeping a holiday home can represent a huge cost for you if you don't organize your finances. Even you can also get a very good holiday home and have a bigger budget that you expected if you use a mortgage to finance part of this purchase. And you can rent the property those 2, 3, 4 months that you won't be here, or even more. But keeping in mind, this money you will be making will not for making a lot of money, a lot of capital gain in the process every year. It's about covering the cost of the mortgage and running the property every year, so it doesn't represent an extra burden for you in your daily life when you are in your original country. And option C, that will be permanent relocation. If you're really looking to come to live in Spain, like probably 1 of every 5 people in Spain right now are foreigners, then you need to organize yourself about if you really have the money to buy the property you want to have for yourself. Second, the kind of cost you will have every year, and you won't be making much money from that property if you will be living here 10 to 12 months a year. Therefore, you need to have a clear path about how long you're going to stay in this property, how your finances are organized, because then you won't be making money from this property. So to sum up, buying a property in Spain can be very daunting and bring a lot of frictions, and can turn that kind of nice expectation into a nightmare. So my advice is to do a proper search on yourself, but especially get the proper guidance. If it's not us, you can find anyone else that will be not a realtor in Costa del Sol, but a real estate strategist. Why? Because you're coming from a different country and you need to understand, first, top locations. Second, the cost of buying a property. Third, to very define what kind of a strategy you have with this property for the long term. And then you will have a fourth factor I would like also to add, that is about the negotiation on the price, searching those hidden details and everything related about even new development if you want to get something new that will give you also a very good capital gain. Because even if you're moving here to Spain, it's very important you do a smart, wise investment that will give you flexibility in the very short and medium term. If you would like to know more, I will read you in the comments. You can text me, you can send me an email, and I will see you next time, but here in Spain.